This is NDTV, and you're watching Classics.
Good evening and welcomes to Eye to Eye, where we believe that every man is an island. Well, today is a very special episode indeed, because today we have a very, very special man, at least for me, in the studio. We have my long lost brother from 30 years. You see, actually, we were separated 30 years ago when our father decided to take us for Kumbh Ka Mela for our happy birthday. And, well, it was a birthday, and then after that day, we were never together. But now we are reunited, and he's become a very famous personality indeed. So, well, as you know, my name is Aved, and he is called Javed. Because, you see, when I was born, they were expecting me, and it was Aved. And he was my twin, which they were not expecting, so he was called Javed. So we are here, and in fact, today we are not going to have an eye to eye, but we will be having a J to J. So please welcome the very versatile Mr. Javed Jaffrey. Well, Javed, please welcome to our show. Please forgive my formality, but you know it is my job and I have to be like this. So please tell us that how was your journey? 30 years I have not been in touch with you. So and it's a wonder that you know we are wearing the same thing, but it was my decision. And since our father had kept these for our 21st birthday and we could never celebrate it together, so I decided to bring it onto our show and to make us. What was the journey like, you know, towards this famous dumb of yours? I through college and school, I was always like the focus of entertainment. I loved entertaining, and came into college. In fact, the first time I was in National College, and in Bombay, Bandra. And once I came on, and you know, it's a totally unforgiving audience. That's the acid test of a performer. If you can face that kind of an audience, you're made. So the first 5 minutes, and then it took me a bit of time, and then it was like, okay, they got used to you, and you could handle them. Because they don't let you stand. You know, it's like you come on stage and challa, put, shane, kone re. So that's the kind of stuff which starts coming from the audience. And then you go, if you say something like, oh, okay, listen, if you want to listen, then listen, okay, get out otherwise. You're gone. I mean, so you can't say that. Someone attempted that. And then I said, no, boss, this doesn't work. So it's like, okay, somebody said something, and then you say, okay, this is way back in 80s, early 80s, and it's like, could you repeat that again? So that guy said, challa, shade, apun bol. So I just like did something like this, put the mic towards him and said, okay, and played it back, and I went, wow, wow, wow. I mean, this stupid little job worked for college audiences, and say, okay, fine, this guy is one of us. He can handle the crowd. So it came from there. College, wanted to do electronics, had an admission in America. My uncle was there, and it somehow didn't happen because there were some family problems. Didn't go. Shifted to arts. Got into majorly extracurricular activities, stage, drama. Became the dramatic secretary in college. Dancing, modeling. That was just a source of some extra income, pocket money, didn't take money at home. And then progressed to choreography, dancing, live shows. Won the All Bombay Championship dancing, won the All India Disco Duo Championship. And then I was just like in the final year, and this offer came, somebody called up from Mr. Subhash Guy's office. In fact, there was a journalist lady, she said, you know, oh, you have a tape of yours, maybe I could. I said, okay, yeah, take it. I was like, I don't know. I was never ever planning to come in the movies or something. And then, I don't know, then I got a call. I said, can you meet up? I said, yeah, I went to meet Mr. Ghai, and he narrated the story, and he said, this is the role. He probably auditioned about 100 people for that role. And he said, I'd like you to do this role. It's a normal college-going kid, but he's bad. He's evil. He's a spoiled rich kid. So, but he dances. He's like a snake, you know. He's got this. He sways, but he can hypnotize you and then actually attack you. So I said, okay, थोड़ी घाई नहीं करनी चाहिए. I didn't tell that to him, but I said, okay, give me a day. एक दिन में मैं आपसे सर जवाब देता हूँ. And then I went and discussed with my father and with our father, and he said, ठीक है. देखो डायरेक्टर अच्छा है, प्रोड्यूसर अच्छे हैं, NNCP साहब थे, बहुत सीनियर प्रोड्यूसर हैं, And actors साथ में अच्छे, नूतन जी, अमरीश पुरी था, Anil Kapoor. So there's no harm. Because I never tried to tell my father, make a film or promote me or introduce me to some directors, producers. But because he came up the hard way. He came totally self-made man. So I said, like, whatever I do, I should try and do it on my own. He's given me an education. He's given me a good life. He's given me the best of whatever there was to give. And now I think it's my duty to, for my own self-respect, to try and make something of my own. Now he's given me the foundation, and now let's take it from here. So when this offer came, I said, okay, I didn't plan it too much, and he said, okay, go ahead. Seems okay. But probably, one didn't think much about it. It's okay, just jumped into it, did the film. And there was Meri Jung, and it was received very well. Huge. I was, very popular. I mean, the whole styling of clothes which I did, like baggy clothes, earring, long hair, things around the wrist, tying something around my neck. So that became a kind of a style, and that's how the beginning happened. Foray into films. Well, foray is okay, but why did the foray not become a 5A? Just kidding, like you. What happened after Meri Jung? Why didn't you do a lot of other films like that, or come as a main actor or leading? No, see, what happened was Meri Jung happened, and what I realized, what people were loving me for was for my dance, because you see, as an actor, you're there and there are other good actors. You're also a good actor. You've got a decent personality. But where you stand head and shoulders above other people was in your dance, your main asset. And if I were to stick to being a villain then, I would have suffocated that asset. It would have just been, stifled. I could not have. Because the villains, the requirement in Hindi films, that was a one-off, what Subhash ji made, where the villain is a very, he's a great dancer, he's a smooth guy. Most of the films, the villains has to be a very typical villain, so you have to be in get-up and do this. You can't, exactly, and it's a problem because you cannot dance better than the hero if you're a villain. I mean, that's how it works in the movies. So, in fact, it's very interesting, people don't know about this. Disco Dancer, when it was made, and I was offered the villain's role opposite Mithun Chakravarti as the dancer, which was done later by Karan Rajdan. And that time my father refused and I agreed with him, because I would have had to dance lesser than the hero. So if Mithunda was the hero in that, so my dancing would have had to be toned down so that he would have had to look, as the script would have required him to be a much better performer than me. So that wouldn't have made sense, because then it would be like, okay, you're killing yourself right in the first step. So one didn't do that, but I remember that, and I suppose the reasons were right for me to not do that. As I said, after Meri Jung, then I decided not to do villains then. And I said, okay, let me do leads. Now, what happened is, because I was launched by Suhas Ghai, who was a huge name, as a villain, so everybody tends to kind of frame you. Hindi film mein, okay, you can say like, this whole post office thing, stamp, bang, okay, villain. So this whole thing happened, and then there were other movies which I did, like there was Lashkar, there was Lal Pari, there was Wo Phiraegi, there was 100 Days, there was Karam Yodha, but it was always a second. It was always a second role. But I remember when I came on and somebody's launched, wow, this kid is the next Amitabh Bachchan, this, that, hoo-ha. And sign him on before people get him and before he starts charging a bomb. So that's how it, oh wow, there's hoo-ha created around in an actor. And it's like, dhol bajane padte apne. You got to beat your own drum, you got to blow your own trumpet or blow. यहाँ पे तो कुछ लोगों के लिए blow करने के लिए है भी नहीं तो भी blow करते हैं. I had a lot to blow about, but somehow I didn't blow, So that is required to some extent, and that's how the industry functions. It's a business thing also. I could never be a businessman. I was very good in my work, but I suppose that's what was a negative element as far as me being a lead or making it as a lead is concerned, probably.